truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool. City lights shining so bright. Fine dining nights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? What's up, Savage? My boy said, uh-oh. Yeah, Ruthless. We're here to bring accountability. We're here to bring the truth of the reality, right? We love our women, but they need to be held under a microscope for the error of their ways. You know, Megan Thee Stallion, baby, all you gotta do is tell the truth. All you gotta do is tell the truth. Just say, you didn't know who shot you. You didn't know. But you put a name on it. You put a name on it. And then the evidence comes to find out, you know, it looks like you were lying. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to it. You know what I mean? We're going to put to it. We're not going to let no further ado because we're going to let the evidence speak for itself. See, right now, women, you're under indictment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These women are under an indictment. They will be exposed for the idiocy, the mischievous, the envious, the devious ways. And I need these men to stop overlooking this. Stop trying to justify and blame the men. Don't. Oh, well, Megan Thee Stallion told because Corey shouldn't have been there. Tory Lanez shouldn't have been there. You all right? And this is where the truth shall set you free. Let's get to it.
She spoke with Gayle King on.
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Megan Thee Stallion opened up for the first
time. Hold on, let's say that again. What she said?
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Megan Thee Stallion opened up for the first time ever on TV about the shooting that happened involving Tory Lanez. She spoke with Gayle King on CBS Mornings and described the frightening incident.
Were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
She said he shot several times from the window and she was nervous if she made the wrong step, she could die. Then she realized he shot her in the foot.
Dropped down and I crawled in somebody's driveway. Like, I can't believe you shot me.
Gayle then asked Megan what was Tory's reaction, and the answer may shock you.
So sorry. please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you offering me money right now? Help me.
And when asked why she didn't say anything at first, Megan had this to say.
So I just said I stepped on glass because I didn't
Why did you
want-
say that? Why didn't you say
don't-
he shot me?
I didn't, for some reason, I was just trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us.
This all happened at the peak of protests surrounding George Floyd and police shootings. Megan goes on to discuss her success, loss of her mom, and more.
Anything to win. Anything to win, gentlemen and ladies. She said, when the officer asked her, that we're going to see in the video later, what happened here, she made a statement and said, I stepped on glass. And then she tried to clean it up and said, I said that because I was trying to protect everybody. But then I changed my mind and said, Tori did it. So what made you go from protecting everybody to want to destroy a man's life?
Find the full interview at Billboard.com. Running it down for you always, I'm Tetris Kelly for Billboard News.
So that's some more. That's just a start. That's our first Exhibit A, right? Exhibit A. Let's go to Exhibit B. Yeah, we finna get to it tonight. Let's go to Exhibit B. Let's go to Exhibit B. Let's go. All right, here we go.
Megan Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez. He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years, so this is really about the testimony. Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lane's supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I could give a damn about Jay-Z or his company. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis. She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now.
And this, oh, here comes Shiesty Bum. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, gentlemen. She doesn't even hold Megan Thee Stallion accountable. She doesn't even want to say, you know what? She should have told the truth. This is the evidence on how women feel about us. They'll throw us under the bus to win. All women care about is winning. And they will lie, cheat, and steal to do anything to win. When Megan, we love you, but all you gotta do is tell the truth. All you gotta do is tell the truth. My best friend shot me, the girl. Yeah, but all she had to do is say the girl shot her. She didn't have to say, Tory Lanez said, dance, bitch. What she put all that extras on it for?
Before she jumps in, let me just say this. This don't even chick that he busting. It don't even.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you'd have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took a particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also, too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously.
Black on black crime. She took the black man down for no reason. She got on that stand and lied for no reason. Because she didn't shoot the gun, so she would never, she was the victim. All she had to do is say, I don't know who shot me. That should have been good. Why did she put a name on it? Why did she even make up extra in the story? Oh, he said dance bitch. All that. Why? Did she hate him that much? She knew her best friend shot her. Come on. Come on. You know what I mean? Come on.
Seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think.
And I think that he deserves a pardon immediately, because if there's no DNA evidence on a gun, and the only thing that you have is testimony from the person that was jealous at the time, that also lied in an interview that said that she didn't even have sex with him, or they wasn't romantically linked when they absolutely were, that's pretty insane. That's 100% insane. And I think that 100% he needs to be freed. And the thing that bothered me the most about this whole situation is that he was convicted in a court of public opinion before he ever got a trial. He was put a gag order on. She was able to talk. Obviously, we know record labels and marketing was involved in that because she was a heavy investment. And now she's crashing out and trying to make it seem like he's still guilty. And it seems as though he got set up in jail and was stabbed 14 times. That's not right. That absolutely is not right. You cannot convict a person in a court of public opinion, which they did that first. And then the second thing is, you cannot just throw somebody under the bus and ignore the justice system and endure evidence or withhold evidence that would allow for him to be able to be free. That's 10 years of this man's life. He almost came within an inch of dying, was stabbed 14 times. That's pretty egregious. That's pretty egregious. And anybody, including all of these women that continue to stand on this and act like he still deserved to be in prison, shame on you. And please stop talking about how you protect and how you stand up for black men, because you know that's a lie.
He'll get.
So, Luna, who did it? I mean, she says and her friends say that he did it. And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have to support that? I get it. Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is, based on the evidence that we have, the evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this, but I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone, and he said that once he does get out, once he does get this pardon, which I do feel confident that he'll be getting, he's going to work extensively in prison reform, because this should never happen to anyone.
It shouldn't.
Anna Paulina Luna, this is a really interesting one. I've never covered a situation like this before, but I appreciate you using your platform. And let the legal team know we'll be reaching out if they want to come on to make the case. I'm happy to hear it, and we'll check in with the governor's office as well. Thank you very much for coming on.
And again, I think that this is unfortunate that you got a man, because you don't get a second life. Look, you may disagree with, or you may not necessarily rock with Tory Lanez, right? You may not necessarily care about Tory Lanez, but the one thing that we should stand for is our justice system. And we've spent so much time trying to please people and please women and make sure that we see people and that we acknowledge that they're seen and all of this stuff. That should not come as a result of putting a man in jail that don't deserve to be there, that could not be convicted based off of the evidence, but was convicted based off of the court of public opinion. I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed. And I said this from the beginning. You still see people on social media that still is standing for Meg Thee Stallion, and they won't even acknowledge, look at, or recognize, but they want to make sure that you recognize and acknowledge them and how they feel, but they won't even recognize the new evidence. I can't wait till this ring evidence is put out there. So hopefully we'll be able to get it and obtain it so that we can review it. Again, I don't think that Tory Lanez should have been in jail at all. It's unfortunate that we find ourselves in this position to have to advocate for something. If I'm going to advocate for something, I'm going to advocate for what's right. It doesn't matter if it's a man, don't matter if it's a woman, don't matter if it's any of that. We should absolutely be advocating for what's right. And Tory Lanez need to be released immediately. Hopefully he does. And here's the worst part. We need to hold Meg Thee Stallion accountable. Megan Thee Stallion needs to be held accountable. I think that we need reform, so much so that the people that make false accusations and get people convicted based off of public opinion and power, they should be sent to jail. And then they need to investigate who ordered this hit also. I want everybody gone. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley 40% off your first.
So we see here, right, that this is a further indictment on women. Megan Thee Stallion, the crazy part about it, she had a story. She said, I stepped on glass. Why did she change her story? Sugar bum. We're going to come up with that right now. We're going to get to that right now. We're going to get to that now. We're going to get to that right now. Why did she change her story, Sugar Bum? If she was all that, right, about sure that he did it, why did she say she stepped on glass? Right? Why did she just say Tory did it in the first place? So then why are you supporting this, Sugar Bum? She changed the story, which automatically discredited her. Once you change the story, that automatically discredits you. So we see here, we have a case that once again, women turning their back on men, anything to win. Anything to win. These women would do, they would take you out. They would take a man out before they take a woman. by any means necessary. These women, and this is why I'm anti-marriage, because this is crazy. Right? This is just one of many. We ain't even go to child support custody cases. We're not going to go into, other cases that we have a large right of women lying on people, talking about they got raped and then find out they were lying years later. DNA evidence proves she was lying, and all she did had to do was apologize to the guys on on national TV. This is not the first time women have been caught lying. But yet we still make excuses for them. We still want to blame it on the man. The men are blaming the men. The women are blaming the men. Even if we have clear-cut evidence, oh, Tory, he should have been emotional. Oh, Tory, he shouldn't have done this. He should have done that. She had to lie in court. If they got new evidence, they can debunk her testimony. Shiesty bum. So let's get to the other video, and then we're gonna serve this indictment.
What they possibly can, so that they can see all of the information, so that then they can make a decision. Let's get active. Now, the compilation of all of the evidence that I'm receiving is from a website. You'll see this at the top left of the screen. Nevertheless, here goes the table of contents of the information that we're about to go through. Now, the first thing that is important to go through is this assertion that Megan Thee Stallion was shot even to begin with. But you'll see right here, she'll say, I ain't get cut by no glass. But let me tell you why they are saying that. Let's play the clip.
I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they saying that.
Well, here's exactly why they're saying that, because she said it first, but she later changed her story. Now, what's new here is to actually watch her and her demeanor as she talked with the cops. Let's go. There she is.
Ma'am, do you think we're gonna go to jail?
What's that?
Do you think we're gonna go to jail?
I don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. As long as you guys cooperate with us and you guys tell us what happened, we'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think...
I really cannot go to jail.
Okay.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay. So how did that happen to you?
Glass.
Glass? Where?
Where we were coming from. Hey, can we But I'm not from here, so
Okay.
Hmm? I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
So she says it there.
Yeah.
Evidence of any shooting or anything? How come we got dispatch?
Well, we have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where it happened, so that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened in the vehicle?
No, we don't have any casings, no.
Okay, from what you've been told. Okay.
And then there's some cash over, looks like.
Was the person who got caught with the other people here that you have in handcuffs? Were they all together?
They were all together.
Yes, they were all in the same car.
Okay. And then, do we know how she got cut?
I believe when she stepped down, there's a glass.
She dropped a glass bottle, and then I think she stepped on it and cut herself.
Okay.
Getting out of the vehicle.
Okay. So her friends didn't cut her then.
Right.
Well.
It's right down the floor.
Yeah.
Rear passengers step out of the vehicle. Show us your hands. Hold your hands up. Okay? Come out, people passenger with their hands up. Hands up. Alright, move back to the sound of my voice. Keep your hands up. Move back to the sound of my voice. Move back. Keep going. Keep going. Hey, stop. Move to the left. Keep moving.
It's right down.
Now take a look at the bottle right here. It is obviously busted, and you can see all the liquid of the bottle all around the bottle. You can also see what appears to be footprints as she began to walk backwards. Now, if you take a look at the way that she got out of the car, right? Let's take another look. Now, bottle is broken on the ground right now. She gets out and she steps right on the bottle. And if you noticed, she's not limping until she steps on the bottle. Watch. Hold on. Let's watch this again. You can audibly hear the bottle break, or that she stepped on shards. Now she's super limping. So with some of the officers visibly watching and audibly hearing her step on glass, and with her own admission that she had stepped on glass, that's how it came up to begin with. Now, line number 2, remember how she was saying that the police officer was being so rude to her within the hospital? Let's listen.
I get to the motherfucking hospital, the police being so rude to me. Well, what's going on? Like, da-da-da-da, you're being detained, da-da-da. Ma'am, I'm being detained, I'm leaking. But I'm still not saying what happened. Shit crazy.
Now let's watch a snippet of what actually happened at that hospital. Now she says she stepped on glass just the other day.
So you were already hurt when you got to the emergency. And then at that point, your friends were running down from the hospital.
The next lie, Megan claimed that she was trying to keep all of this off of the internet.
So, since y'all hoes so worried about it, yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie? I don't understand. I tried to keep the situation.
Now this is such an easy case to win. This is not even close. It's not even too close to call. Shame on you, black people. You just lie on the guy because what? What made you change your story from the moment it was glass that you stepped onto? When you get to the hospital, he shot me. And how did shell cases and stuff be on her foot when it's clear she stepped on glass? This just shows that the system is corrupted and that women would do anything to win. Because she got on a stand. They asked her, who shot you? They looked her directly in the eye. The prosecution looked her directly in the eye. Who shot you? And she pointed at Tory Lanez. And then, but she told the officer, and it was clear when she stepped out, that there was glass. I'm just wondering, like, why do women choose these type of battles? Here's a man who did not shoot you. You clearly stepped on glass. The officers walked to the scene of where you got out the car and the glass and the bottle was there, and how the blood was the footprints. How did this end up somebody shooting you talking about dance, bitch? How to get a man 10 years? This is diabolical. Megan Thee Stallion is diabolical. But this is no different than how the women take the kids away and turn the kids against the man. This is no different than how women lie on men so they can get more money and these things. These women are, promoting and campaigning to free Megan Thee Stallion or to, believe her, even though we have evidence that she's a liar. Anything to win. Against men. Because they know who the shooter is. Even if there was a gunshot, they know who the shooter is. They know it wasn't Tory. Or they definitely wouldn't be talking about no pardon.
Off the internet.
Now, that also was a lie. 3 days after the incident, Megan took to Instagram to post this message here on the left about being shot. Day later, she contacted the authorities. About a week or so after that, she made vague public statements in regards to the incident. By the way, Tory was quiet this entire time. Then after that, she did the infamous live stream where you can poke holes through her story like Swiss cheese. Then a month after that, Tory finally said something. And then Tory gave us his side of the story a month after that. And yet another lie. Megan Thee Stallion in that Gayle King interview said that she never put her hands on anybody, right?
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. Yes. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
But the evidence says otherwise. Now, due to guidelines on this platform, I may have to change this to a black and white screen.
Well, Megan Thee Stallion, if you got out the car and he said, Dad's been some shooting at you, so why'd you get back in the car then? Because we clearly see the police taking you out of the car. We visibly see that. But you said he got out the car and started shooting at you, said, dance, bitch. So that means you must have been running from the car. Because all y'all was in the same car. This is easy money. How did lawyers fumble this? If Megan Thee saying he shot me and saying, dance, bitch, but we clearly see the officers taking her out of the car, so she ran back in the car she was getting shot from. Megan's a liar. She's a fucking liar.
Green. Nevertheless, eyewitnesses and physical evidence indicate that a physical fight between Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris. Kelsey had open wounds and cuts on her legs that were actively bleeding. No injuries were reported on Tory Lanez. The fight was between the women. Now we starting to heat up. If you guys remember from her infamous live stream that she talked about that there was a witness.
The people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police.
Now that witness goes by the name of Sean Kelly. He testified what he saw.
Wait, no, it didn't. No?
They shot out of the car?
The windows were open, that's why it sounded like either way. Yeah, I didn't
No,
really
they
see
were
it.
on my side. The girl opened the door, there was two girls fighting, and then they shot.
She got out of the car and crawled over.
And that's not all he said. He also said that one of the women fired the first few shots while Tori was still in the car. Let's review the testimony. Question. Okay. Did you state, sir, that the shorter gentleman didn't come out of the car until the initial shot fireworks had started? Sean Kelly says, yeah. Question. Excuse me? Sean Kelly says, yes. So when the initial shot.
This is overwhelming evidence. This is overwhelming evidence. This is enough evidence to literally convict the other girl. We got a witness stating that Tori didn't shoot the gun. Oh, girl shot the gun. You got glass at the by the car, where she stepped on the glass. So obviously, oh, girl took the gun, and as she was shooting, she missed. She was radical, probably emotional, a little drunk, a little high. So she wasn't aiming properly, and she just was shooting the gun. So we have a clear-cut case. This is easy money. How did the courts miss this? How did they deny this guy's testimony? How did they let Megan Thee Stallion change her testimony? First, she said she stepped on glass. Now, it all of a sudden changes when she gets to the hospital that Tori was shooting at her. What made her change her story between the arrest and the hospitalization? What made her throw him under the bus? She went from stepping on glass to get shot at? Talking about dance, bitch? She's a liar. Anytime you change your story, you are automatically discredited as a witness. Inconsistent stories shows that you're not to be trusted. Oh boy, man, this is black people making a fool of themselves. Black people making a fool of, I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, am I off? Is this embarrassment to the black community? Is this anything to win?
Or fireworks had started, isn't it true that you stated my client was still in the car? Answer, yeah, I believe so. The shorter gentleman was in the car, he's repeating it, and then Sean Kelly says yes. Okay, and did you state that initially you saw the two girls fighting? Sean Kelly says I did, yes. Did you state that after you saw the two girls fighting, you saw one of the girls shoot? He says, I believe so, but thereafter, did you say that the shorter guy got involved at that point, trying to take the gun away? Megan's lawyer said, objection. The court overruled that. Overruled means that they want to hear the answer to that question. He repeats it and says, is that what you said? The witness says, yeah. So the witness is saying Tori tried to take the gun away, which was the exact same new written testimony from Kelsey's security guard. This is additional audio of Sean Kelly explaining exactly what happened. Pay attention.
The doors of the Escalade open and the girl come out and pull open the passenger door and started screaming and yelling at somebody in the car.
So the girl who came out of the passenger, you're talking about the front passenger?
No, the rear.
The rear passenger. So the girl comes out of the rear passenger And she goes to the front passenger?
Yes.
And she opens up the car door?
Yes.
And then what happens?
They start they're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The two girls?
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting and then the passenger gets out.
So the girl who does the punching and the kicking is the girl that comes out of the back passenger?
Can we stop there? Because I don't want to, I'll tell you and then I want to go. My son's on his own.
Yeah, I understand. And it's loud with the cars.
I don't really want to. So basically the car stopped. The girl in the back got out, started screaming and shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open, but pulled it so sort of viciously that's why I presume the driver got out. She starts screaming, she starts hitting the girl. The girl then had to start, her feet come out, she starts to kick the girl away. The passenger, they get out, they start fighting here. They start fighting. The driver comes round and tries to sort of break it up. It gets a bit more violent. And between them, the girl then climbs back into the front driver passenger seat.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car? Okay.
Then the gun. Then the girl shoots. So she.
And the girl shoots.
The driver's door's open.
You're seeing the girl shoot?
Can I help you? I think, is it this house?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me. But it was dark and I'm above, so... But then the guy gets out again from the back.
Now, surprisingly, or unsurprisingly rather, what Sean Kelly is saying is perfectly corroborated by both security guards in this situation, right? Tory Lanez' his bodyguard, and here goes his sworn statement over here towards the left, as well as Kelsey Harris's bodyguard, who was hired for the trial, who overheard Kelsey saying statements such as, "How can I not tell on myself? And how am I protected if I tell certain things?" So it's a lot more clear why she wanted immunity. Together, the statements of Smith, James, and Kelly paint a consistent picture. Two women were fighting. A woman fired the gun. Tory tried to de-escalate the situation. Now let's take another look to re-examine Kelsey's testimony throughout all of this, which has been inconsistent to say the least. Kelsey Harris initially told prosecutors that she witnessed the shooting, but later recanted on the stand, admitting that she lied under pressure. Her Fifth Amendment plea and contradictions compelled the prosecution to introduce her prior statements in full.
Black people making a fool of themselves. Black people just making a fool of themselves, changing their testimonies, changing their stories. These women are liars. Anything to win. So I'm thinking, that she stepped on some glass. When they towed her out the car, I guess she was running from the gunshots. She dove into the car to duck the gunshots. Boom. Police showed up, got out the car. She stepped on the glass. Boom. They take her to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, Megan Thee Stallion probably thought, like, why did all this start? Why did this happen? Because maybe Tory opened his mouth about something between, because obviously he was having sex with probably both of them. And so she probably thought he's the cause of all this. And maybe I'm going to take him down for this shit. So by the time she got to the hospital, she formulated a new story and said, Tory Lanez. Now the dance bitch part, that part kind of is bothersome, right? Why don't you just say, Tory shot me? But you added the dance bitch up in there. These women are liars. And no accountability, no consequences. No women coming out saying she's wrong. No men coming out saying she's wrong. So is Megan Thee Stallion just going to get this off? And let's just say Tory Lane gets out today. Then they put a hit on him. So now that's probably why they started. They put a hit on him because they was hoping he died so this all go away. Was Megan Thee Stallion influenced? Who would put that kind of hit on somebody? Stab somebody like that? They were trying to take his life. So there's a lot of things going on here, man. The question I have is, why would Megan change her story from telling the officer it was glass to Tory Lane shooting her saying dance bitch? Why did her story change? That's the question I have, right? Officer asked her what happened. They asked her, what happened, ma'am? And she said, I stepped on glass. And then they showed where she's getting out the car, and there was a glass bottle right there, glass, and then her footprints was right next to that glass. What made her change her mind? Before from the scene of the crime to the ER. Why did she? Maybe he ran his mouth too much. Maybe he said I was fucking Megan, and then it caused a division in the friendship. And she said, you know what? I'm taking this nigga down for this. But the bigger question is, how did the defense fumble this case? And how did the district attorney fumble this case? And how did the police fumble this case? Because the evidence obviously goes against her story. So we have here a conspiracy. We have a conspiracy. So for Megan Thee Stallion to change her story from the crime scene to the hospital, that's interesting.
Highlighting their unreliability. Her credibility was compromised, raising reasonable doubt. You can see here in image 14, I can't tell you the time, but yes, July 12, 2020. Question, and you saw what happened during the shooting, didn't you? Answer. Again, no. The way I was positioned, honestly, no. Okay, in September, where you interviewed with us, it was not a blur, correct? Again, I said things to protect myself that night. Question. Okay, well, you said answer that day. Question. You said it's a blur. You're trying to protect yourself, but you're telling us that you didn't see anything or you didn't hear anything. It's a blur. Is that right? Answer. I didn't see anything. So again, when I spoke with you, I said a few different things. Question. Did you shoot Tory? Or excuse me, did you shoot Megan? Answer. No. Who shot Megan? Answer. Again, I was getting out of the car. All I heard was shots I did not actually see. Question. Did you tell us that when you looked at maybe the second or third gunshot, that's when you see Tory and he's in the front seat and he must have jumped over into the front seat and he's leaning over the door over the window? Do you remember telling us that? Answer. Again, our interview was not 100% truthful. Now we're going to switch gears here slightly and speak about, did Tory even touch the firearm at all? All right. A forensic expert testified that 90% of DNA on the weapon belonged to an unknown male, not Tory Lanez. His DNA was not found on the magazine. Software used for analysis had documented instability and potential for false matches. An expert testified that if Tory had fired the gun 5 times, his DNA would be expected on the weapon, but it wasn't found. Female DNA was found on the gun. Kelsey tested positive for GSR, but her DNA was never tested again on the gun. All right. Tory Lanez's DNA was not on the magazine and only 0.01% on the firearm. This is an incredibly small amount, equivalent to picking up a blade of glass from a football field. I'm going to pause it right here. You guys can read all of these sworn testimonies and cross-reference to what it is that I just said. But remember how Megan described it.
In the car, shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window, shooting.
So not only were the bullets never found, but then also they didn't find DNA on the firearm itself. We have sworn testimonies, spoken and written accounts from different people that say that a female fired the firearm. Yet we still have people that believe her story beyond a reasonable doubt.
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance.
That was a lie as well. Now, both Sean Kelly and Kelsey testified that they did not hear Tory make that statement. And here goes the 2 testimonies right here.
I get to the hospital. The doctors do X-rays on my feet. Oh, ma'am, you got bullets in your feet. Got bullet fragments in your other foot. I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them. Like, no, I didn't know I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Like I've never been shot before. I don't have to lie about that.
You thought the doctors were the police, Megan? You talking about these doctors right here? By the way, none of these doctors were called in to testify in court. The first doctor, Dr. Anthony Lafredo, described the injury as a laceration from broken glass. There was no mention of gunshot wounds, fragments, or ballistic trauma. He also described Megan as pleasant and no acute distress. Interesting. Moving on to the right, Dr. Milton Little diagnosed bilateral gunshot wounds based on imaging. He removed 3 small fragments under general anesthesia and called wounds superficial, yet performed surgery anyway. Claims fragments were bagged and given to police. Now, when it comes to what these fragments were, we did also watch her step on glass. Remember that? But yet the fragments just seemed to poof, disappear, huh? Now enter the plastic surgeon, Dr. Anna Howell, described wounds as superficial and cleanly closed.
All right, I heard enough. Not guilty. You got to feel me. A to the Izzo, G to the Izzy. My nigga, we didn't even travel down the BA. It's simple, not guilty. It's just, I don't see how they prosecute this case. Well, I'm in the show. Thank y'all for coming. You know, another sad day for the Black African Americans. Black people once again making a fool of themselves. Chick lying. And the white people say, hey, we'll help you out. We just want this guy to go down. We can get 10 years out of this. And she takes the bait. This is a disgrace to Black America. This is an indictment on women on their quest to win by any means necessary. This is also an indictment on a corrupted justice system. who just want convictions. And they clearly used a woman and manipulated to take down a man who did not have a clear-cut case on. America is corrupted. Can't trust them. I'm out.